this is our opportunity to co-author the rise of the digital economy. I can think of few missions as central to that as GRC. I've had the opportunity to meet many of you in person, and I've really been fortunate to learn some of the great stories that you have shared with me on your GRC journeys. But the one that sticks with me the most is the shared common passion. A passion for building a better governed world, to drive sustainable business growth, and to improve their quality of life. So thank you for all that you do, and I'm excited to see how we collectively over the next few days can move and bring the GRC world a step or two forwards. I've also been fortunate in my discussions with you to learn what you're using GRC for. I've been speaking to a healthcare company that, in fact, I believe is here in the audience, that talked about how GRC, how the MetricStream platform is used to save lives, treating patients in their comfort of their homes. I've heard from airliners how GRC is used to keep passengers safe, on time, and being treated in the best way possible flying. I've learned from many of you that as you enter the digital age, you trust your largest asset to GRC, the asset of data. If anyone wants to get to know George, by the way, I can give you an opportunity to scan his badge right here. But I'm going to claim that space now for a moment. Now, full credit goes to Gunjan and Shelley for the company that they have built. The team at MetricStream that's here, everyone with these blue badges, together they built this company into the market leader that it is today. I'm honored and I am humbled to take over from Shelley, and I'm committed to continue the incredible work that she began. She has clearly defined and shaped this industry to a very large extent. I also recognize that we are living in rapidly changing times, and new risks and challenges emerge. And with that, there are shifts in demands, and the opportunities that we have to address are ever so complex, but they also increase. So MetricStream too must evolve and deliver greater impact and value for you, our clients. So with that in mind, we're going to introduce some exciting new initiatives, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. But first, the most important part that I want to share with you, I am delighted to introduce you to the new MetricStream. They told me something was going to happen, not that it was going to be that loud, but you're awake now, so that's good. Looking back at some of the events that have taken place across the globe, it's becoming increasingly evident that the drivers of business success, they have shifted. Today's success isn't determined solely by the size of your organization or even the growth or the profit. In fact, all of this can crumble. It can crumble in an instant. And if you look at some of the biggest news headlines that we've seen in the last 12 months, you see headlines, they are more about corporate behavior. They are about conduct, ethics, reputation. How are enterprises treating their employees? These are the issues that are making the headlines today. Massively eroding shareholder value and the impact that we were asked to protect the base against unforeseen acts. and events. We are entering a world that former Secretary of Defense Rumsfeld, I think, would define as the unknown unknown. We come from a world where we have been dealing with the known unknowns. And in the last 12 months or so, we in GRC, as GRC professionals, find ourselves in a world where we're dealing with unknown unknowns. So what does that mean for GRC? Well, I believe that GRC as we know it is changing. It's no longer about monitoring compliance with regulations and managing known market risks or credit risks. GRC today is about sustaining an organization's social license to operate, ensuring that business practices, operating procedures, and corporate behaviors are acceptable to employees, to stakeholders, and the public at large. We've been asked to go beyond eradicating illicit behavior to propagate best practice behavior into the future. To some extent, I think this goal is achieved with the help of rules and regulations that tell enterprises what they can do and can't based on societal expectations. But bad decisions can't be prevented with rules alone. We have seen that. You may have car emission standards, but that does not mean that employees and business leaders under financial pressure won't circumvent them. You might have anti-harassment policies in your enterprise, but that alone isn't going to prevent misconduct. What really matters is integrity. Acting in accordance with core values, making sure that the things you say and the things you do are aligned. In a recent workplace survey, it was conducted by the Ethics and Compliance Initiative, they found that employees today are experiencing more pressure to compromise on their standards than ever before. And this pressure creates an environment in which questionable business practices are almost twice as likely to be accepted. In fact, 63% of the respondents see these practices rewarded. When that happens, it leaves our organizations at risk of making the news for the wrong reasons. That needs to change. To keep our license to operate in a viral digital world without secrets, we need to foster a culture of greater integrity. Everything that we and our organizations do is under continuous scrutiny, not just from regulators and stakeholders, but also from the larger hyperconnected society, where people have tremendous computation and communication power right at their fingertips. One person's account of harassment at the workplace can spread around the globe in near real time, culminating in a worldwide movement. One recording of an airline passenger being mistreated can go viral in a matter of hours, resulting in public outcries to boycott that company's services. So everything we do in today's digital world is judged and measured not only against the financial metrics, but also, and perhaps more so, against how effectively we are able to meet social expectations of corporate behavior. Therefore, when we talk about governance in our world, in the digital world, we are talking not only about achieving corporate objectives or following rules and regulations, but to doing all of that with integrity. We at MetricStream, we refer to this as perform with integrity. So to me, this is the foundation on which enterprises build satisfied clients, engaged workforces, and successful brands. It's about being true to the deeper mission that underlines what we do as organizations. A bank's mission isn't just to make money, but to protect the life savings of its clients. A hospital's mission isn't just to treat patients, but to help improve the quality of life. An airliner's mission isn't just to move people from point A to point B, but to do so safely, on time, and as conveniently as possible. At MetricStream, our mission isn't just to deliver GRC software, but to enable each and every one of you, each client, to deliver on its mission, to strive in the digital economy with GRC as the foundation, and to contribute to the betterment of the human condition. The way in which we as GRC professionals help our organizations achieve their missions every day, in everything we do and in every decision that we make, determines our future, the future of our digital economy. It starts with you and me. And that brings me to the new MetricStream. I'm pleased to announce that we are launching new advisory services, and they are targeted at helping enterprises like yours assess if you're ready to perform with integrity. The new service will evaluate your enterprise's integrity quotient and outline the actions needed to help you identify and quantify your operational risks. We want to build an appropriate mitigation strategy and to be prepared to respond effectively to crises that does occur. We are launching this service because many of the enterprises we've spoken to want to strengthen integrity, but they don't always know how to go about it in the most effective way, or they don't know what to focus on first, or how to understand the relative impact, or they simply want to discover where they stand on the integrity maturity curve compared to its peers. We will be offering the first 10 assessments of our advisory service at no charge. Jo, I saw you earlier, Jo Dalmor. Maybe she's in the back now. Oh, she's right there in the back. So she will be speaking to those of you that are interested in getting those first 10 free seats. So these assessments, that's ultimately aimed at strengthening corporate integrity. To me, integrity isn't just about implementing a few policies or a training program to guide corporate behavior. It's about being equipped to foster a value-based culture that goes beyond rules. It's about understanding the likelihood and impact of various risks, be workforce risks, data security, third-party, fraud, bribery, corruption risk. Yeah, the list goes on. But it's about establishing accountability for these risks at various levels of the enterprise and understanding how the impact of one risk can be amplified by another. It's about building compliance programs that guide decision-making and action across the enterprise rather than checking the box. It's also about having reliable, consistent processes in place and bounce back from adversity quickly. We could not be helpful with all of this if it wasn't for our partners. It is the inclusive ecosystem of partners that enables us to jointly solve the ever more complex business challenges that we are faced with. When I think of enterprises acting with integrity, one of the first names that comes to mind is Salesforce. I know several of you are here in the audience, and I want to commend you on the work, especially in terms of their commitment to data protection. Salesforce was one of the first companies to certify compliance with the EU-US Privacy Shield framework. And their trust and compliance documentation provides an open, transparent view of the company's service architecture and infrastructure. Their privacy audits and certifications, physical and technical controls, sub-processes, all of that. This is a company that's truly walking the talk. And at MetricStream, we are very proud and humbled to serve Salesforce on achieving that mission. At MetricStream too, our commitment is to help organizations like yours perform with integrity. To that end, we identified key areas where we will double down on our focus and resources. Earlier this year, we launched the Voice of the Employee program. They gave me the opportunity to speak firsthand to our colleagues. I have to say that maybe my attention dropped a little bit as we passed 1,000, but every remark was exceptionally valuable. And what I learned was that in our culture transformation program, what we needed first and foremost was to feed the hunger for learning. Training programs, not in the conventional sense, but in the sense of developing that passion, that drive that was inside. We needed leadership transformation, and we're in the midst of that. First and foremost, however, we needed a focus on quality, and a focus on quality in everything that we do. Our third strategic initiative is the Voice of the Customer program, and that has the objective to earn the status as your trusted advisor. Your voice is critically important to us. We want to hear from you early and often. The new program has already resulted in our single largest investment this year. Our client impact team has been formed under Gunjan, sits right there, with a focus on you, our clients, amongst other initiatives. This team will focus on helping clients go from the UAT, when usually many of our engagements ends, on to client adoption. But all of these are with the sole impact to drive impact and value creation. So as GRC is becoming more pervasive throughout our enterprise, it's no longer a separate program that's run by the audit department or the second line of defense. Our client-facing staff needs, our frontline staff also needs to get interfaces that they can work with. The business users, however, they are often infrequent users, and they are more accustomed to talk in business terms. They don't use the GRC terms. So I want to thank those clients that have been advising us on this. That includes Fannie Mae and Ocwen and USAA and PIMCO and several others here in the audience. But the feedback has been instrumental for us. We look forward to hearing your voices as well as we embark on this critical process that, amongst other things, will include gamified, device-agnostic front ends to draw in the first-line users. We are launching the translator role, and the objective is to get things right the first time. So after an in-depth analysis of user-reported issues, we found that half of them relate to system design or untrained users, if you will. And the role of the translator is to lead that adoption program, as well as to help users converge, which can sometimes be the single largest hurdle, converge onto one common standard, common practice. Another 30% of the user-reported issues are related to customer-specific customizations. And this is where the translator will work with the users to accomplish what they want to achieve, using as standard, out-of-the-box software as possible. And several clients are also using the translator to lead their program management office in order to reduce time to impact, to speed up the implementations. The Artificial Intelligence Lab is being set up with the objective of co-designing the future of our work with some select clients. We are working with a leading bank, for example, to redesign audits. So the new techniques on audit include continuous auditing, it includes data-driven audits, and we're also leveraging those gamified first-line user interaction interfaces that I referred to earlier. But you can hear more of that on the AI panel tomorrow. The seventh strategic initiative is around a platform, and it's focused solely on enabling the management of the new asset class in the digital economy, data. So to adhere to client requirements of the future, we are doubling down on investment in our GRC platform. It's a 1 million man-hour investment that really got our board's attention when I mentioned that. And the investment is to enable an open architecture where databases, point solutions, and environments can interchangeably interact. We're also planning to allow full integration with our open source knowledge libraries. That includes best practice workflows, data models, analytics, templates, and data assets. So based on this native cloud, service-oriented architecture, building on the M7 legacy, we are looking at creating an as open platform as we possibly can for all the knowledge assets out there, including the GRC journey ones as well as those of our partners. So for those of you that want to participate in the design of this and the build out of this, I would strongly recommend that you plan to visit our client workshop facilities in Palo Alto or Bangalore, India. Andy will talk more about this program tomorrow. So let me use this opportunity to introduce Andy. Andy, please stand up so they can see you. With 25 years of experience in leading global development teams, including AI and platform, I'm pleased to announce Andy to join us as Chief Technology Officer. He's in charge of R&D, product management, delivery, cloud services, and everything that has to do with delivering a satisfactory outcome for the client. So welcome, Andy. We all have a common role in shaping a future governed by integrity. So building enterprises with whom investors entrust their money, where people will want to work and the customers will want to do business with. We are also responsible for how we leverage technological innovation. And today there is a great deal of fear surrounding artificial intelligence, for example, and its potential to ultimately take over, maybe even wipe out the human race. Whether these fears are legitimate or not remains to be seen. But rather than wait, what can we do to ensure that AI is used as a force for good rather than bad? It is true that AI needs GRC that GRC needs AI to deal with ever more complex challenges. But it's even more true that AI needs GRC. In the center of the artificial intelligence world are not the algorithmic gurus. It's the GRC people, the experts, you. How can we align AI with human values? These are the questions that will become increasingly important as we put integrity and ethics at the heart of everything we do in our businesses, as we collectively work to build a better world for ourselves and future generations. It is our commitment, pledged at MetricStream, to perform with integrity and to help our clients do the same. So let me close by sharing what our manager of internal IT security recently shared with me. In our world today, we need MetricStream to continue to be that beacon for making the world a better place, encouraging everyone to play by the rules and leveling the playing field. So it's imperative that MetricStream continues to succeed as the trailblazer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my privilege and honor to talk to you today. I look forward to many more opportunities to do so, and I thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.